What's going on, guys? Alloutblitzle here, coming back at you with another video. Today we have Orbeetle VMAX. This is a list that Celio's network posted a couple days ago, so definitely check him out. I'll link his YouTube and video in the description below. He has some pretty good content. So I wanted to give this a try. So I've been thinking about playing Orbeetle for a while. I just didn't really know how to build it, so I found a list to steal. So we have our usual Mew. It seems to be very common with the Eternatus. And we have Orbeetle, and its Eerie Beam ability lets us, when it's an active spot, do one damage counter to all of our opponent's Pokemon. Then we have its second attack does 50, and then 50 more for each energy on our opponent's active. We have the Sky Circus Rowlet to have that Bird Keeper synergy, since we're playing 4. And we have Jynx, its Jealous Lips, or Selfish Lips ability, that likes it so it does not give up any prizes if it's taken out by a V. And then its attack does 10 more for each damage counter they have on, so it synergizes pretty well with that Orbeetle. Oranguru can help us stack Orbeetles on the top if we have too many in our hand. Zigzagoon for the little extra damage, and Eternatus, of course, gets all our Orbeetles down. Bird Keeper helps us switch. Marnie helps us, it gives us a little disruption. Cheryl can heal our Orbeetles, and 310 is quite a lot. Klara can help us recover. Jynx immediately can help us get energies back. We're gonna be sitting behind like Jynx's and even Rowlets, and putting those Leafy Camo Ponchos on our Orbeetle to force our opponent to take a lot of prizes to win the game while spreading damage on all their Pokemon. Net can reset our Mew and Zigzagoon and clear up 1 prize Pokemon. 3 switch and 3 rope to switch in between our guys. Pal Pad to get back the supporters. Rod to recover energies of Pokemon. We have lots of ways to recover Jynx. The customary 2 Heavy Ball and Eternatus decks. A couple balloons for the retreat. Jubilife Village, so we can still end sort of like a pseudo tropical beach, so that we can end our turn while drawing cards, and then 4 grass and 4 twin. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. I upload videos every single day, so you don't want to miss any of those out. Once again, the list will be in the description below, as always, and as will my Crown Zenith playlist if you want to catch up on any videos that you missed. And now, let's get into the battles. Alright, on to our first battle. We won the coin flip, so we're against some sort of water deck. Considering the water, maybe it's Palkia, because it's got the water deck box sleeves and Palkia coin. Pretty good hand for us. So, Bullion is not very friendly start for us. So I will quick ball the Oranguru and get the Radiant Eternatus. I think we're just gonna Climactic Gate here. Yeah, not a whole lot to do without the Mysterious Tail. So, I wonder if this is. I wonder what kind of Palkia build this is, because you don't usually see Empoleon too much anymore. So, you don't really see Palkia. Oh, Palkia Kyurem, or at least some sort of build of Kyurem. Usually when you see Kyurem, you see Palkia. So this should be interesting. Radiant Greninja. And Empoleon is certainly annoying. Like, we really want to use Mysterious Tail. We do still have a Gear and a Jubilife, so we're not just totally breaking out. They have Iridus. They'll be able to fully set up their board if they so choose to. They can get a VIP pass. Palkia, yep, that's what they get. So, yeah, this deck is definitely a more fun deck. Not super duper competitive. I don't think you probably have much of a chance against Lugia, but Radiant Eternatus is one of my favorite cards they've printed in a while. It's certainly a very fun card to use, and I liked playing Orbeetle a lot back in the day. If you remember when people played with the Pokédoll and the Snorlax, and you just sit forever using Orbeetles. That was a fun deck. So we'll Jubilife. I think I want Jubilife instead of using Climactic Gate, because my hand is sort of dead. So yeah, we do. And we did get the Jynx in the active spot, so we can potentially deny some prizes. Might be tough for our opponent to just take a knockout. Well, there's a Serena. They just got a boss. That's always nice to see. If you guys have any other decks that you'd like me to see, please let me know, or any other type of content, whether it be top 10s like I posted yesterday, or whether you'd like to see me go back into older formats, you'd like me to break down a deck specific matchups like you also saw yesterday. Anything you'd like to see that's Pokemon TCG related, I can definitely cover it. So any ideas, suggestions, decks, I am more than happy to get to you. Or if you have any any decks you'd like me to help you with, or any advice for any sort of Pokemon tournament related. I would say, relatively experienced, so you can comment it below or send me an email in my About section. Check out my About section on YouTube to get my email if you want to. So, we did pull off an Eerie Beam. We're going to go back into the Jynx. We climactic gated for another Orbeetle. We have one Beetle with one Grass, so even if we get gusted down, we still have another one ready to go. There's another Melanie. This could get quite scary, though. We need to get Ponchos on these Orbeetles. We are still spreading, and that's pretty good. Excuse me. And there's a rope. So we'll give them the Radiant Eternatus. Let's see if they want to cure us. We can hit it for 200, but I don't really want to do that yet, because then we're going to get return knocked out. So I think, I'm assuming they take this knockout. I'm just going to promote the ballooned Beetle. I'd like to start finding some of my Ponchos. I want to, so we can't get these Orbeetles Gust. I know they're down two Gust cards, but still. Don't really want Rowlet right now. Put another Grass on the bench guy. I'll quick ball out of Rowlet. Oh, grabbing a Mew to thin it out. Thinning the deck for sure. So, Marnie them. Their hand is quite large, so I think we'll probably just be retreating into the Mew or to the Jynx. They're happy. We find a Poncho. That is nice. We can Poncho up the Orbeetle. I don't know if I think I'm a Jubilife to count a stadium. I'm gonna hold my hand because I like having the Bird Keeper and the energies. And I just don't want them to be able to keep reusing their energies and having those free concealed cards, having the free Glaciated World. I want to at least make them work a little bit for it. So we're still not super far in, only 3 Eerie Beams, so we're sort of setting up a little slowly here, but we do have at least 2 Eerie Beams guaranteed on our next turn. Kyurem has definitely fallen off the map quite a bit since Silver Tempest has come out. It's just it always sort of did struggle with single prizers, and Lugia is basically a single prize deck. Like, I know Lugia is the star of the show, but it plays like a single prize deck for a majority of the game, so like Kyurem can't really trade very well with Yveltal and Charizard, and even Archeops is sort of an annoying thing. So we'll promote this Orbeetle and Eerie Beam. So Eerie Beam back into, or we'll Bird Keeper back into this one, and Eerie Beam again. I think I'm just going to use Psychic Assault with this Jynx. That will be 60 damage all the way up to 110. So we're starting to get some places. Got 2 Eerie Beams, got Psychic Assaults. They only can gust one of our Orbeetles, which is good. We can Quick Ball for our other Jynx, and put even more pressure on this Kyurem. They likely aren't playing any nets to pick up their Pokemon, so those Greninja and Oranguru could be some relatively easy prizes. I am quite worried there's an Era. I'm worried if they have Gust to take out that ballooned Orbeetle, and they have Vacuum, so they can potentially Gust 2 Orbeetles. That's pretty scary. So they'll probably Vacuum out of Camo, or out of Poncho, I'm guessing. Let's see. No, the Jubilife. Okay, I'm definitely okay with that, because I can kind of manipulate the price trade now with Jynxes. I know they have Empoleon that can get through it, but we can sort of keep forcing these Jynxes into their face until they can knock us out. So Heavy Ball, check the prizes. Nobody's home, but I'm gonna Mew, hopefully find a gear or something. Let's switch, I guess. So I'll Scoop Up Net. Go to this Orbeetle, use an Eerie Beam. And then I'll Quick Ball. I could take this knockout here, but I don't necessarily want to. If I take this knockout here, I'm going to get knocked out back. So I'm going to try to force my opponent to Gust. I'd like my opponent to go through one more Jynx before I start attacking. Like, I want to be able to set up knockout so I can go knockout, instead of having to... like, if I leave the Orbeetle in active spot, it almost certainly gets knocked out back, and then then I can't really put Jynx in the active spot anymore because then Empoleon is just GG. So do Eerie Beam. We have the Pokégear, nothing. That's unfortunate. Go into this Orbeetle, Eerie Beam once again. I'll hold the energy and just go for that G-Max wave. Now we're definitely in a tough spot. Both of their Curums are very close to being knocked out though. So we might still be able to pull this one off. They've already spent 2 switch cards as well, so they might, if they completely unload on a Curum, like, then they might not have a way to move it. They usually play 2 to 3 switching cards. You didn't necessarily even need to switch out there. I think that was sort of an unnecessary play. Yeah, so we'll see. They have no bench space for Lumineon, which is pretty good. Yeah, there's a Star Portal, so this Orbeetle will certainly go down. Yeah, so I guess they're putting all the energies on the active, or they only have 2. Okay, so probably all but the wash. Yeah, so we'll promote our ballooned one. I think. All right, let's see. I think our game plan is going to just be retreat and Eerie Beam, attach to the active, and just hope that they don't have a switch. Because if I take this knockout, my Orbeetle will just be knocked out right back. And I'm just going to try to double Eerie Beam and be able to take 8 prizes on the next turn. So hopefully they don't have a switching card. 7 cards in deck, so if they have it, they should definitely have access to it. So whether it be Irida, conceal cards, drawing into the deck physically. So Glaciated World, thinning it, and Ultra Ball. So they don't have an energy to concealed cards, it looks like. So they'll Glaciated World that, Choice Belt. And that's it. We're gonna win. We're going to take 8 prizes in 1 turn here. There's an Eerie Beam. Then we just retreat and Eerie Beam once more. And that is 8 prizes in 1 turn with Orbeetle. And that will be a good game. Pretty sick, honestly. Alright, on to our next game. This is going to be a very long game, so... but I think it does show off the deck pretty good. So, yeah, this is the only other game in the video, so... We open Mew, our hand is not great. I mean, we kind of hope our Eternatus is prized. We're against Regilucky, so that means either Reggie's or maybe even Control. Wow. So no Orbeetle on the first turn. That kind of stinks. But our opponent is, let's see, the Quick Ball. Cape, so could be, it still could be Reggie's or Control. We do occasionally see that one of Cape and Reggie's for the mirror. Let's take them a little bit. We definitely need a Gourmet National X, so that means it is Control. So, and net back, Cape. So this matchup should be interesting. I think if they go for the Eldegoss loop, I don't think we can win, because we can never one-shot in Eldegoss. Net. I'll net the active. If you did not already, check out my video I posted yesterday where I did a complete breakdown of Control. Definitely was, I think it's my favorite video I've done yet. It was definitely a pretty fun one for sure. Quick Ball, the Heavy Ball. I think I do a pretty good job. You both have to let me know, but I think I did pretty good explaining everything. And if there's any other decks like any other videos you'd like me to do for other decks like that, please let me know, because I think I have a good grasp of I definitely have a grasp of the meta game where I can do that for just about every meta relevant deck. So if you let me do it for some other deck, let me know, because I'm more than happy to do it. Or if you let me to do any other videos leading up to the Orlando Regionals, just comment below. I'm pretty flexible. So we will Mysterious Tail, a Bird Keeper back into Orbeetle. I'll just start spamming those Eerie Beams. This game is gonna be a tough one to win. We'll attach that. Yeah, we're just gonna go for Rowlet, pressure this Regieleki. I think my win condition is just gonna be really aggressively pressure my opponent's Pokemon. But if they can just get to that Eldegoss loop, I don't think we can win. We have to be. I think we have to be aggressive. But we can't be reckless. We have to make sure we can leave ourselves with resources to attack. Another Regieleki. They're filling up their bench, which is pretty good for us. Unfortunately, we can't knock out that Regieleki on the bench. It has 100 HP, and we can do max 80 to it. So, I'll net the active, use an Eerie Beam, Bird Keeper into the other one. I don't think I want to Rowlet. It's just not a good Pokemon to have it in play. Jubilife is sort of nice. We'll Eerie Beam, attach to active, drop the Poncho, drop the Jubilife. You could make the case for me holding the Jubilife there, because I'm probably gonna want it for Galarian Mines in the future. I just want to be a long game. Definitely favors my opponent. I don't think I can win a long game, so I'm just trying to put as much pressure onto my opponent and force him maybe to play awkwardly, so it takes them longer than anticipated to get to the Eldegoss loop. There's Miltank, which is a bit of an annoyance. We can't Eerie Beam it, but we cannot use our Max Wave on it. They're ditching these Yveltals. I don't really need them. I mean, they can discard an energy. They spend a Scoop Up Net rather aggressively. They boss up Radiant Eternatus. Already down 2 nets, so that's kind of sus. I think we're just gonna Klara back the double grass, attached it to an Orbeetle, and then just Jubilife. I wonder if Jubilife Village is one of those cards in a slower format, like post-rotation. It's a card that sees more play, like if we're doing more evolving. It definitely could be. Sydney stinks. We do not want to lose that to win. I feel like it could be a card post-rotation that people at least use more. It hasn't really been super duper played since it came out. We'll just Jubilife again. I think a Japanese Regieleki played it, like early on in the Astral Radiance format. I think that's about it in terms of how much it's been played. Everyone's going for that Peonia. So, yeah, it's just gonna come down to if we can put enough pressure onto them that maybe they have to spend resources that they don't want to, or draw or set up awkwardly that they can't pull off the Eldegoss loop, or they have to spend a lot of resources to pull it off to where it might not be super sustainable. Or, of course, the PTCGO timer always controls an enemy, so. And we don't have to, like, we can spend we can pressure our opponent while spending very low resources. Like, I know Eerie Beam is only doing 10 per turn, but they can't just sit there for forever, because I can eventually Eerie Beam them. I know eventually I'll deck out, but I do have Marnie's Rods and Jubilife to put more cards back into my deck, so my opponent can't just completely sit around all day. There goes a Pikachu and a Speed. Definitely, oh, there's a Horn, that's sort of annoying. There's a Speed Energy. So our opponent is getting through a lot of cards this turn. There's a Galarian Mine. And a Pass. So I'm just going to Eerie Beam. And then I'm going to try to Max Wave. I want to save my, that'd be cool, that flips ahead. I'm going to try to save my Jubilife for where it really matters, like whether it's retreating with a Mew, retreating with an Orbeetle. I don't want to get, I want to have one that's really important, not just drop it just to drop it, because it's my last stadium, so we really need to use it wisely. We can get pretty close to one-shotting this Regieleki. We're at 100 currently with one Eerie Beam. So these are our Sonar, so we almost can get the knockout here. Probably a Cape or a Scoop Net. I think they definitely overbench. They don't need to be super worried about me pressuring them with a hammer. That's definitely annoying. So we'll Eerie Beam, Max Wave. Unfortunately, hit a Tails. So on to our opponent's turn. Of course, the hammer hits heads. So let's see. They go with the Twin, which I think is preferable to Grass, because they can cry Destruction. Twins, if they play Flannery, they could get rid of that. They drop an Eldegoss. No, Sydney. That's very frustrating. Sydney's such a broken card in control. And they were Sonar again. Darn it. Oh, man. Control's one of those decks that I love to play, but I just hate facing it. Like, I just almost feel like when I face Control, like, I can beat it a decent amount of the time, but I just don't want to sit around for 30 minutes, like, playing against it. I want to, they can have it. I mean, I'm sure you guys sometimes feel the same way. I don't know, PTCGO Ladder is just such a crapshoot. Like, I want to face Lugia, Mew, or, like, decks that are common and meta relevant, so I really can show off my deck against the top tier stuff. But this PTCGO Ladder, like, gives you Cura and Control and Wheezing, and when you do hit a Lugia, it's like a really bad. It seems like it's always a really bad game. Like, I brick, my opponent bricks, and it's just. Hopefully TCG Live fixes that. I'm not holding my breath though. Yeah, TCG Live, I feel it's a long way off, but I think their goal is to have it by Scarlet and Violet, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm not very optimistic. I've not played TCG Live to preface, but I've watched it a little bit, and it looks horrible. Like, I don't understand, at least for me, I want the game to look as close as the real thing as possible. Like, you have the game designed a certain way, designed to look a certain way, and then the whole mobile thing, they just make it look completely different. Like, why do you make it look like, why are you trying to make it look like something it isn't? Or just the whole board is like freaking seizure inducing. Like, I don't know. It seems like they make one solid change like every couple months, and then they just 2 steps back with like the whole board update that they recently did with the whole thing. Like, the psychic board is just completely seizure inducing. So yeah, I'm not a terribly big fan of the old TCG Live, but I'm hopeful, but not super optimistic. I mean, I enjoy TCGO. I don't know how many hours I've played this game in my life, but I understand why they want a new game, especially because other TCGs have newer, shinier simulators. But I think you could make the card designs look cleaner. You make the board a little more interesting, but you don't have to completely reinvent the wheel. Like, I feel like TCGO is solid, and you should also use what people like to see. Like, if people, content creators love to lay out their deck and explain it, and TCG Live, you can't do that, and like, you can't really view your collection very well. And the whole, I don't understand why the packs are all 5-card packs. Like, even if you enter a 10-card code, you have to open them immediately. I don't think necessarily the trading system does suck in a lot of ways, but I'd be okay with if they kept the trading system, and then they also but then they also supplemented it. Like, you could still craft, so you make it so you can play completely free to play. You've always been able to play TCGO free to play. Like, I've never bought codes in my life, and I have a decent account. It takes some time, it's like anything, but I know a lot of other CCG simulators, you just get like part of meta decks for free, and TCG Live has done that a little bit. So I think that's a solid idea, because no one wants to play for hours just to get a decent deck. Like, you start out with theme decks that you can't really do much with. So if you're trying to get people to move out from being casual to competitive, then I feel like giving them a decent deck is in your best interest. Like, it's not like you're getting a physical product that costs you money. You're getting something digital, and if they like it and have fun with their good competitive deck, they'll keep playing and will buy more Pokemon cards and make you more money. So I don't understand why. I don't know. I would change quite a few things if I were in charge of this all, but we're down to 3 prizes. Our opponent's starting to Eldegoss loop. We're gonna keep Eerie Beaming. I don't know why they keep dropping Pokemon. Like, they're just giving me so many free prizes. Like, they just went for the Eldegoss loop. I could physically not win. but they're making my life so much easier. I don't know. Thornton. Yveltal, okay. They're giving me another prize. Like, this is so unnecessary. And I'm playing Orbeetle, which is an unorthodox deck, and they likely do not have much of an idea what I'm playing, like what my 60 is exactly. But still, I don't know, I just feel like you gotta make educated guesses sometimes. And you've seen a decent bit of my deck, and you should just think to yourself, can he ever, like, Orbeetle's doing 50 damage to an Eldegoss without any energies. Is he seriously gonna have anything that can do 230 to an Eldegoss? And if I were the control player, I would guess not very likely. And if it is, so what? It's ladder. Like, my win streak got broken. Who really cares? And I'm never gonna face an Orbeetle in a tournament. So I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta take risks like that. Like, it's not even that much. Like, the risk versus reward. Like, you're giving me so many free prizes. Like, I can take another one here. I can Bird Keeper Rope and take out this Regieleki. Like, they're playing way too conservatively, and I think it's going to cost me the game. Like, I know they only have 6 minutes left, and I have 17 cards in deck, so that PTCGO timer is definitely not their friend, but I think I still could win, regardless, just because they've not played this game very well. They're dropping Miltank. Like, they don't need to drop these Pokemon. And you don't need to attack with Miltank either. Ugh. It's kind of triggering to watch, but alright. It is what it is, though. Well, so they're gonna, like, they still have 5 cards in deck. Are they just gonna keep swinging with the Miltank? Because I have Cheryl Rod, so I have even more cards I can put back into my deck and make it take them longer to win. I don't even necessarily mind them bossing a Mew, because they'll eventually knock it out with Float Up. Then that clears the Pokemon from play. It's not pressure. I'd rather them do that than hit into an Orbeetle. So, are they gonna... They shouldn't route. They should just pass. I don't know why they put the capture on the Miltank. Still a tail. Just take a look at the deck. Yeah, there's draw passing. I think they kind of realize that their timer is not their friend here. Yeah, but eventually they're going to have to start playing cards. They can't just sit around here forever. Against the Eldegoss. Maybe a Bird Keeper? Other boss? Why? Capture. Do they not have another double turbo left? That'd be comical. That would make me laugh. That'd be so funny. We're out of Bird Keepers, but we still have a few switching cards left. I think there's a Bird Keeper. Okay, they already had the Bird Keeper in hand. So they will float up. Refill the deck. Go into the other Eldegoss. Alright, we'll just pass. I kind of want them to take this Mew, so I don't have to deal with it being gusted later. Let's see, the Eldegoss. Will that be Bird Keeper? Will it be Chorus? No, another boss. They're gonna just pick around these Mews, but don't they already have a boss in hand? Try not to cringe. Control Edition. So they're gonna have to float up again here soon, but they have less than 2 minutes left on their TCGO clock. They're taking way too much time. Definitely have to make concise decisions when you're playing control on best of 1 or ladder. You have a little more lenience in best of 3, but you still can't play slowly. You gotta keep up the pace of play, otherwise definitely get a judge called on you. So my opponent definitely misplays by attaching this capture to this Eldegoss, because now my Orbeetle can just hit it for 100 and force them to float up faster than they want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Escape Rope. I'm going to drop Jynx, attach to it, Eerie Beam. I'm going to try to corner them, where I'm going to put the pressure on the Eldegoss, but then also apply pressure to where they can't really leave Miltank active a spot because they see the Jynx. But they're under 30 seconds. They're gonna gust the Jynx. We have, let's see, the Eldegoss for boss again. Alright, they're gonna have And that's it. They're out of time. Let's go. Alright, thank you guys for watching. That has been Orbeetle VMAX. Once again, shout out to Celio for the list. I'm going to link his channel below. The list will be below. Any comments, suggestions, please leave them below and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. Please consider subscribing and share this video. Orbeetle is pretty fun. I don't think it's a terribly competitive deck. I would not necessarily recommend it at a large tournament, but it's a pretty fun one. It can be good in certain scenarios. It's not the right metaphor. Maybe if things were a little slower. So yeah, this list is pretty spot on. I think Celio definitely did a good job with this one. So thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, you're awesome. So this has been Alloutblitzle, and I'll catch you guys next time.